The last time we discussed the state of the New York Rangers, we were talking about a discombobulated hockey club who were struggling to win games and consistently score goals. Let's get right into it. Since the last day of the state of the New York Rangers, the Rangers have been 5-4 since then. Games 11 and 12 of the season, both against the Boston Bruins. One was a 3-2 overtime loss, and one of them a 1-0 shutout loss. After the shutout loss against the Bruins, it was announced that K'Andre Miller will miss some time with an injury. They get a few days off, and then they're going up against a Devils team who hasn't played in 2 weeks due to COVID. They looked flat. They looked like they just didn't want to be there. As time went on, the Devils looked like the better team. The end of the first period, the shots were in favor of the Devils 16-9. In the second, it was reversed for the Rangers' favor. And for those of you who are watching this video the day of the upload, you'll notice that Igor Shesterkin in that game, like he was last night against the Devils, was the reason that the Rangers were still in the game in the first period. 2 goals by each team in the second period, and then the Devils absolutely exploded in the third period. It was a frustrating loss. It was a winnable hockey game against a team who hasn't played a game in 2 weeks, only had maybe 1 or 2 practices. It was a frustrating game for the Rangers to lose. Oh, and another defenseman goes down in Jacob Trouba as he breaks his thumb. February 18th, the next game, the same exact situation. The Philadelphia Flyers haven't played in 2 weeks and only 1 practice. The Rangers win this game in a shootout. They were struggling to score goals. Colin Blackwell comes up huge, as well as Alexander Georgiev. A positive I took away from this game was how good defensively the Rangers played against a very depleted Flyers lineup, but still a very good defensive effort, especially without Miller and Trouba. Kaapo Kakko was put on the NHL's COVID list in between this game and the next game against the Capitals. February 20th, they only gave up 1 goal against the Washington Capitals. A 4-1 win, Kreider with a goal, Zibanejad with an empty net shorthanded goal, and Lafreniere scores his 2nd career goal, and it ended up being another game winner. Igor Shesterkin gets the win. It's one of the most complete games by the Rangers so far this season. And now they get 2 days off. It's awesome. You know, you don't want to get too lax. You just came off a big win. You want to keep the momentum going. And then this happens. The Artemi Panarin situation, if you don't know about it, there is a video explaining it on my channel. If you want to click the card on the top of the screen, I get into more detail about it. I won't address it too much in this video. So at this point, February 23rd, the Rangers are without K'Andre Miller due to an injury, Artemi Panarin for personal reasons, Kaapo Kakko for COVID precautions, COVID list, and Jacob Trouba with a broken thumb. Oh, and Filipino's still out with an upper body injury. So let's play the Philadelphia Flyers the next day. A 4-3 loss, Chris Kreider with a hat trick. This game seemed to me just very discombobulated. They had 8 power plays. The Rangers took 8 penalties. You were almost on the penalty kill for a whole period's worth. That's not going to win you any hockey games, no matter how good your penalty kill is, and they gave up 2 power play goals. They looked so desperate, they looked very discombobulated, but I mean, that's what happens when you remove so many key pieces from that lineup. However, Chris Kreider stepped up and buried a hat trick, so at least he's been here showing up, especially with Panarin down. 7-8-3 at this point. The next game is February 26th with fans at Madison Square Garden against the Boston Bruins. They treat the fans right. The Rangers explode for 6 goals. K'Andre Miller back in the lineup. Georgiev gets the win, and guys stepped up. They played really well in the second and the third period. I thought it was one of their better complete games, very similar to the game against Washington, but this time against a very good Bruins team, a struggling Bruins team, they were able to put the nail in the coffin in the second and third period. Playing with a lead is what the Rangers really struggled with, especially early on this season, and now it's really good to see that these young kids are adding to the lead, defending the lead in a smart hockey manner. I gotta add Lafreniere with his first assist. Overall, good game. February 28th, the next day, the Bruins came out to play and were able to win 4-1. They gave the Rangers absolutely nothing offensively. It's a frustrating loss once again because you know what you can do to this kind of a team. But the Bruins, with how good they are, with how deep they are, the Bruins were able to get their revenge on the Rangers in the second game. But at this point, March 2nd, the Rangers have won 3 out of the last 5 games, which is very surprising for a young team, youngest team in the NHL, and losing guys like K'Andre Miller, Jacob Trouba, and Artemi Panarin all in the same week, and Kaapo Kakko. March 2nd, the Rangers play the Buffalo Sabres at Madison Square Garden. Filipino returns to the lineup after his upper body injury. Rangers off to a solid start, 30 seconds in, Pavel Buchnevich, it's 1-0. 30 seconds later, they give up a goal, it's 1-1. About a minute and a half later, Pavel Buchnevich with a great play to shoot it at the net. Lafreniere tips it in. The Rangers score. It's 2-1. 3 minutes into the game. There are only 2 goals, one for each team the rest of the game. Chris Kreider, who continues his hot streak, makes it 3-1. The Buffalo Sabres will eventually score a goal. The Rangers win 3-2. A gutsy win over a very desperate Buffalo Sabres team. Doesn't matter. The Rangers get the 2 points. The next game was last night against the New Jersey Devils. The Rangers came out as flat as they can be in the first period. I think it was one of the worst starts to a period, worst starts to a game I have ever seen as a Ranger fan. They had no offensive zone time. Igor Shesterkin was the sole reason that they were even considered to be still in that game starting in the second period. And in the second period, they still looked very flat until the game changed when Kyle Palmieri took a hooking penalty against Filipino. About 11 minutes left in the second period, and the Rangers score a power play goal thanks to Chris Kreider. It's 1-1 at this point. Cry Dizzle will go on to score 2 more goals, another hat trick. He's got 2 hat tricks in the last 8 days. Kreider has 2 hat tricks in the last 8 days. Lafreniere with the multi-point game, a great goal by him, a great pass to Buchnevich. The Rangers were clicking on all cylinders right after Kreider scored that first goal. And with Artemi Panarin now, we got to talk about Chris Kreider stepping up. However, there are some negatives to take away from this game. Igor Shesterkin suffered lower body injury. At the time I'm recording this video, it is 3:30 in the afternoon on Friday, March 5th. I don't think we have any update yet. He is seeing doctors, but he most likely won't be returning anytime soon. Wow, you really don't know anything, do you? Igor Shesterkin, day to day. And another note, Mika Zibanejad was put in the doghouse by David Quinn, and rightfully so. He has not been the same player since last season. He needs to try to find his game. I'm not sure if a day off will help. I'm not sure if less time on ice will help. Who knows? He played only 13 minutes, so we'll see where that brings us. Let's look at the goalie stats so far this season. Igor Shesterkin is 6-7-1 with a 2.31 goals against average and a .921 save percentage. Alexander Georgiev is 3-2-2 with a 2.76 goals against average and a .908 save percentage. The goalies are going to be a huge contributor to what the Rangers are looking like long term, especially if they want to succeed. And Igor Shesterkin, now that he is down and out, it's looking like it might be a problem for the Rangers. But, I mean, Keith Kincaid is a very reliable backup goaltender, and I say backup goaltender is because Alexander Georgiev is a capable starting goaltender. He is going to get majority of the starts going forward now. Let's move on to the hot players of the week. Chris Kreider with 7 goals since February 20th. It is the most in the NHL over that span. Ever since Artemi Panarin went down, Chris Kreider has been here to play. He wears the C off the ice, no doubt in my mind. In the locker room, he speaks, you listen. Chris Kreider's an absolute animal. This is why they re-signed him at the deadline. This is why it was so tough to decide if they wanted to re-sign him. Would he be this player? And as of right now, he's in a hot streak, and he is that player. How about a guy like Ryan Lindgren? He's got 9 assists so far this season, only 3 less points than Adam Fox. Ryan Lindgren is such an underrated defenseman on this Ranger core. He is a huge reason why the Rangers are so successful, especially in their own end. Let's look at some stats, shall we? A huge improvement so far from last season has been the goal against. They are 7th in the NHL in total goals against with 54. At 86.3%, they are 5th in the NHL in penalty kill. Now to the daunting stats. We talked about these stats during the last State of the New York Rangers video. The Rangers are second to last only to the New Jersey Devils in face-off percentage. Their face-offs are still struggling. The Rangers are 25th in the NHL with a power play percentage of 15.4. However, it has been getting better with power play goals in the last couple of games. Well, that's the State of the New York Rangers video. We're not going to get time to questions today, but if you do want to leave me a question about this team, leave it in the comments. I'll get it to you right away. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. If you're new and you want to stick around, please hit subscribe. Pre-game, post-game reaction video for every New York Rangers game. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.